Hey everybody, welcome back again to the channel where we talk about vinyl records. As always, thanks to everybody that's been watching the videos, all you guys that have left comments. It's been great. We love talking about records on here. We like hearing what you have to say about records. This week's episode, we're going to talk about 10 really great albums that you might not be listening to yet. They may not be on your radar for one reason or another, or you just haven't had time to get to them yet. Or maybe you are listening to them. I don't know what you're listening to. The hope here is that there'll be one or two albums in this list that you haven't gotten to yet. Maybe you'll check them out because of this and find a new record that you like. All 10 of these albums are great. I listen to them a lot. And so we'll just get started. Up first, this is a band called the Bobby Lees. Great punk band here. The girl that sings is amazing. The girl that plays bass is amazing. But I think that the dude on the drums may be the real star of the show here. The drumming on this album is just absolutely phenomenal. This album is called Bellevue. Band is called the Bobby Lees. They are a punk band. If you haven't heard them yet, I would suggest that just on YouTube, right here on YouTube, just search Ma Likes to Drink. And the first thing that comes up will be their video for the song Ma Likes to Drink. It'll give you a good idea of what they sound like. The whole album sounds like that. It's very punk, very catchy, very awesome. Great album here. Up next, maybe something you haven't been listening to, is a band called Death from Above 1979. Not a great name. Awesome band though. This album is called You're a Woman, I'm a Machine. It's not the easiest record to find, but it is an awesome album. I really like this band. I don't know too much about it. I think it's just two guys maybe. There's the track list. Their sound kind of reminds me of No Means No a little bit, if you're familiar with that band. Very bass heavy and just heavy in general. Great band. Check out the song Little Girl or Blood on Our Hands if you haven't heard them yet, and that'll give you a good idea what they sound like. This is a great record. Up next, this one goes way back to the 70s here. The Paul Collins Beat. This is oh man, this is one of the greatest power pop albums of all time here. This is a phenomenal album. This guy is a power pop master. I love some good power pop. There'll be some more power pop in this list. This album goes all the way back to the late 70s, so there's a chance that you've probably heard it before. This is an original. This is actually a promotional copy here. The sleeve's falling apart. I listen to this album so much and just love it. Every song on here. Like I said, you may have heard this before, as old as it is and as great as it is, but right here on YouTube, you could go check out the song Rock and Roll Girl. There's a great video on YouTube of them playing it on the Dick Clark Show, or American Bandstand with Dick Clark, which is great. Get to see them in action. Great song, great album. Up next, another punk band here, The Dragons. This album is called, what is it called? Rock and Roll Kamikaze. Great album here. These guys are sort of a garage rock, punk rock band. I believe they're from somewhere in California. I'm not sure exactly. But, man, this album hits. This is a great album here. And if you like punk music, if you like rock and roll music, it's really good. I would check out Come On, Crying. You Say It Like It's a Bad Thing. 3 Steps from the Bar. There's a lot of great songs on here, and I think you find them on YouTube. Just search for those songs. You'll find it. Up next, an album that's a few years old now. Band is called Charlie Bliss. The album is called Guppy. This is a great album here. Discogs describes them as bubblegum punk. I don't know what that is. Their songs are catchy, punk songs, garage rock kind of songs. And the girl that sings in this band has very unique voice. Doesn't sound like anyone else I've ever heard. I suspect you're either going to like it or not, not like it. But it does make for a very original sound. They have a unique sound about them. There's no other band that really sounds like them. If you haven't heard them, there's a song called DQ. They've got a video for, and it's actually a pretty funny video too. So even if you don't like the song, at least the video is interesting. A lot of these songs have videos actually on YouTube that you can find. So if you haven't heard this band and you like punk music, you might check them out. Great band here, great album. Up next, another power pop band that I really like, the Incredible Kidda Band. Also a band with not a very good name, but this is a amazing album here. This is a double album. I think it's a compilation of, well, it is a compilation. It's a compilation of a lot of things here. There's like demos on here, and well, it looks like a lot of demos on here. But it covers all their years from the mid-70s to the early 80s. There's the track list there. There's a lot of songs on here. These guys are an amazing power pop band from Great Britain, and man, I can't believe it that bands like this, or like The Beat that we talked about earlier, just weren't huge. Their songs are so good, so catchy. If you haven't heard this band, I would check out. There's a great on YouTube. You can find If Looks Could Kill. Great live version of that song. Big Boys Don't Cry. Everybody knows. I mean, man, every song on this is awesome. Great album here. And here's another album. This is one of my all-time favorites here. I've been listening to this since the 90s, and you guys may already know about this one. Turbonegro is the band. The album is Apocalypse Dudes. If you know about Turbonegro, then right on. They're an amazing band from Oslo, Norway. They consider themselves death punk. On Discogs, they're just called a punk band, and they are. This is an unbelievably good record. They have two amazing guitar players in the band, and it's one of those records. It's a great guitar album. It reminds me a little bit, and not like musically, but just like Appetite for Destruction. The way they have two guitar players that are really good, both doing different things throughout the song. This band does a similar thing. Their guitar players are both just amazing, and this is a fantastic album. And if you've seen skate videos in the 90s or anything, then you may have heard this band. Some of their songs are on there. I think some of their songs were in the Jackass TV show, if you remember that, from MTV. They've been around a while, and if you haven't heard this album, I would definitely say check this out. It's a great album. And next, we're switching genres a little bit. This is a band called Holly Golightly, and actually it's Holly Golightly and the Broke-Offs is the full name of the band. Holly Golightly is a female singer from England, and this album is awesome. It's listed as country punk rock, whatever that means. That sounds like three different genres to me, but it's great. I mean, this is a great album, and I can listen to this over and over. Not a fan of country music, and I don't feel like this is country music, although it does have like the country feel to it. There's a lot of acoustic guitars and lap steel, slide guitars, that sort of thing, piano. But man, mixed with these biting lyrics, it's just amazing record. This is a great album. Holly Golightly and the Broke-Offs. The album is called All Her Fault. There are a lot of Holly Golightly albums, but this is the one that I would recommend to you. Check out the song No Business on YouTube, and that'll give you an idea what they sound like if you haven't heard them already. Great album here. Up next, this is a album by a band called the Riverboat Gamblers. The album is called Underneath the Owl. Now, they have a few other albums that are also great, but this is the one I chose to recommend because some of the songs on here are just amazing. There's a song, if you haven't heard this band yet or this album, check out the song Keep Me From Drinking on YouTube. It's got some amazing, it's a 3-chord punk song, but it's got some amazing lyrics and just as catchy as can be. This whole album is just one great punk song after the next. And I highly recommend it. I listen to this a lot. Up next, and finally up to number 10. Now, back when I was a long time ago, when I was like 19 years old, I was in a band called the Oswalds. I played guitar in the band, and we were doing a thing like the Ramones where all of our last names were Oswald. So our singer was Ozzy Oswald. I was Paul Harvey Oswald. Anyway, we broke up after a short while. Well, then a couple of years later, I came across this band, the Lee Harvey Oswald Band. So I thought I would check them out since they had a similar name to a band I had once been in. And this ended up being an all-time great album here. I think it came out in the mid-90s. It was around the mid-90s when I first stumbled onto this. It's on Touch and Go Records. And this album is just awesome. They are it's called Blastronaut is the name of the album. There's the track list on there and the band back there. And they're sort of they're a glam band, I think, is what they're listed as on Discogs, which is correct. They're a mix between T-Rex and the New York Dolls, I would say. They've got that glam rock where they lean a little bit toward the punk side. Every song on this album is just a flat-out masterpiece. But if you haven't heard it, I would suggest maybe Rocket 69 or Hermaphrodite is a good one. Surrender Earthlings. There's a lot of great songs on this album. Anyway, that's my list for 10 great albums that you might not be listening to. And like I said before, thanks for watching the videos. We put out a new video every week. We take recommendations, we take requests. So if you have one, let us know. We'll get to it. In fact, next week's list will be coming from a request. So look out for that one. And we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.